Welcome to TradersArmy.com, defending your right to build wealth and preserve capital for generations to come. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's edition of the Daily Market Commentary. I'm your host, Chuck Fulkerson, coming at you on an early morning. It is Thursday. We are over the hump. Some call it Friday Eve. We're going to do what we do each and every day. Look at 10 to 12 futures markets, identifying potential turning points and breakout trades. For those of you new to the channel, click that subscribe button down below and the alert bell so you get the updates whenever we post a new video. We are doing the live trading room today on TradersArmy.com starting at 6:30 a.m. Central so that we can look for positions as we are closer to the market open. But for now, let's take a look at some of these. So I'll be a little short today because we'll review a lot of these in the live trading room. Hopefully some will be close to entry. So I'm anticipating that this week we will, or excuse me, that the next 2 days we'll have a little bit of a sell-off. And I was telling a friend of mine yesterday, John, he and I were on the phone talking about this, and I said, I've got no scientific evidence to base this on. I've got no supply levels above me. I've got nothing other than my gut tells me, right? And my gut tells me after we've had this big rally over the course of the last couple of weeks that going into a holiday weekend at the end of a month, it just makes sense that there would be some profit taking. Could be completely wrong, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to short the market either, right? Now, I feel prophetic after saying that since we've rallied, we've dropped about 5.5 points in the overnight hours. And it's, I talked a little bit about it yesterday, but it just seems to make sense. And so I've got a number of potential reversal opportunities below us. But if you notice, whenever you're trading in this kind of a market, your reversal opportunities are not going to be where you get in and make your money. Your opportunities are going to come from breakouts, and this was the breakout yesterday. We had a really nice breakout, picked up a little over 70 points off of the breakout from what we talked about yesterday morning. So if you were able to catch that NASDAQ breakout, do me a favor, leave me a comment in the chat box, in the comment section down below. I love to hear it when people do catch some of these moves. We've sold off a little bit here. One of the things that I'm a big believer in is, taking your stop and moving it up to lock in some profits. And if you did lock in some profits, it might have made sense to lock it in really kind of below this area here, this 76.50. So as we're still above 76.50, you've gotten a really nice run. There's nothing wrong with frankly going home with a happy profit. I mean, we talked about the breakout originally from 75.05. We're up 175 points since that original breakout, and some may still be in from that original breakout. If you missed the original breakout, you had another one. So we had two this week that were exceptionally well set up, giving you opportunities. Where are we looking to get short? Well, let me give you a very simple answer. We're not. I just don't feel like it makes sense to get short. If you want to hopefully get a reversal opportunity, there is going to be one here on the 15-minute chart. So if indeed we do pull back to 7,600, 7,602, look at this as a potential opportunity to be a buyer on a pullback to this area right here. Next, crude oil. So crude oil, we are sitting at a potential breakout long. Crude oil burnt us a little bit earlier in the week with a small breakout that I thought would actually go the other way. And none of the reversals. We haven't come to any of the reversals in here. So we're sitting at once again what could be an opportune breakout in crude. So let's see what happens a little bit later today on that one. And then in gold, we're coming close to our very small reversal point that we had in play. I'm not as big of a fan of it as I was, simply because of this little reversal area yesterday, or a couple of days ago, where we didn't quite make it to the level. Still valid, but be a little bit more cautious. And so what I'm going to do is change this to a dashed line entry, which means that we want to get in on a confirmation style entry. All right, taking a look at our bonds. So in our bond market, we still had that breakdown. Price has just about come to our potential reversal trade. So in that reversal trade, we didn't quite get filled. So just missing and not getting in kind of weakens our position a little bit. But we have seen a rally in those bonds, which would make sense since we've seen a little bit of a pullback in the overall market in general. In the overnight hours. So let's see what happens when we get down to here. This one is another one that we may change our minds on, if you will. In the Aussie, so in the Aussie, we had a potential reversal on a 15-minute chart right in here. Price came just in front of our level and did not get us in. If you note, I'm sorry, we had this little move off of this area here. So depending on where your entry was, you did get in on a little move, but then it came through and gave us your stop out. That's okay, right? You're going to get those stop outs. Take the little losses as they come. As those little losses come to you, you want to take them, deal with them. They won't kill you. Just make sure that you are having your stops in place at all times, right? I love my stops. I love my stops. I love my stops. Euro position. So in the euro, yesterday I said, well, we might, if you want to get short, you may have an opportunity below that little area here. We did a little touch below and then popped back up above. In this case, depending on how you had your trade set up, you may or may not have gotten in or filled on that little tiny touch below. Everybody had, we only stayed below there for just a brief period before then popping back up. The good news is if you did get in, that your stop should have been just above this little pivot area up in here. And it would have been a tiny little one. I'm not sure how many people got in on that one. I wasn't in love with it yesterday, which is why I just kind of put that little squig there instead of an official line. I did not jump into it. I was not in love with that area. That was a tighter trade. The Canadian dollar I did like. Now, the Canadian dollar, I liked the breakout. And we broke out, and then we came all the way back down, and now we've kind of come back up again from it. So if you took some profits after our move up, then great. Some of you may have taken profits or maybe moved your stop to break even. Some of you may have originally kept your stop in the original location and still be in the trade. Everybody's going to have a different risk management plan in what they do, and so what's important is that you have one. But I don't have anything to add to the trade at this point. British pound, Japanese yen. We did get the breakdown below our little triangle pattern in the Japanese yen. So if anybody took this breakdown, this was a very strong breakdown off of this level, and then you've gotten handsomely rewarded. However, we're starting to get a little bit more momentum to the upside, so it might be time to take some profits off the table in that one. Copper, we have come to the area. We immediately popped out to the opposing fair price value area, and now we've come back down into it. So this was really a one candle mover that it came down, hit the fair price area, and came back up. The fact that it hit in the overnight hours, I'm guessing most people, including this guy, did not take advantage of that, but it had. Well, I mean, maybe I do have a number of you that are watching from Europe. So if you're watching and if you trade in London or Dubai, then it's certainly not going to be the overnight hour. So maybe you were able to catch that for a nice little move. Guess I should remember that the worldwide interwebs is worldwide. Nat gas, that trade did not work at all. Came into it, bounced up, and then broke right through. Right, so we did not get the run off of the nat gas trade. Actually, I think I did speak about this yesterday. I just forgot to remove the lines. Spoke about that one yesterday. Just forgot to remove the lines. And then the Great British Pound. Oh, this is the worst. Just nicked by a tick. We just missed it last week, and then we've continued to get a strong run off of it. So a little bit of strength in the pound, and frankly, the pound needs some strength, right? It needs something. But on a daily chart, which is our big picture, we're coming to what could be a fair price value area up here. So keep an eye on there for a bigger picture reversal. So I will see those of you that are subscribers. I'll see you in a few hours for our live room. Make sure that you bring questions where we'll go over some individual options trades and some individual setups for the day. But I will talk to you all soon. Thanks so much. See ya.